esteemed honor of welcoming all of you to the first ever Drum and Debate All-City Festival. I think I can speak for all of the fine arts teachers in Norman Public Schools when I say that we are honored to work in a district that honors the fine arts as much as Norman Public School does. So having Drum and Debate join the all-city tradition is very, very exciting for all of us. So, yeah. There's so many people that we have to thank for this, but I want to give a special shout out to our Director of Fine Arts, Dr. Brad Benson. I know he's somewhere in the house. But we are really, really honored to work under someone who has given so much time and dedication to the fine arts in this district, and I just can't say enough good things about Dr. Benson. So let's get the show started.
Good evening. This is Joe. Joe will be presenting a speech later this evening. But first, Joe must decide what he will be speaking about. Joe will be taking on the challenge of writing his speech backstage in just 30 minutes. This is what is known as an extemporaneous speech. Good luck, Joe. We'll see you later.
annual county fair kickoff. May I introduce our contestants? First, we have the honor of Remington's one and only beauty salon, Miss Hedda Hair.
I'd like to say it's really nice to be here.
Our next contestant is a Remington resident who has worked in a historic library for over 20 years, Miss Paige Turner.
I'm so nervous. I was just telling a good.
Our next contestant just returned from the lockup, Miss Robin Banks from Truman County.
I'd like to give a shout out.
We have an American Idol regent from the last 8 seasons, Miss Karaoke. Hello, hello, hello. Then we have just plain, ordinary Jane Smith from Georgetown. That name isn't funny at all.
I'm sorry, but my mother's made names to fill your pain.
That's better. Our next contestant is a recent graduate of 7 years out of 2-year college, Miss Elementary.
Excuse me, that's pronounced Ella.
What did I say?
You said Ella. It's Ella. Ella.
Sit down. And last, but not least. And last, but not least, or at least I don't think sit down. I don't really know the man. A gentleman who has spent his life dedicated to uncovering the secrets to magicians' magic tricks, Mr. Howdy Did It. Mr. Howdy Did It.
I was in a little butcher. Did I miss anything?
Sit down. Let's give all of our wonderful contestants a hand, please. Now, the moment you all have been waiting for. He has won numerous cooking awards, including his nationally known recipe using fried potatoes and Caryl syrup. His cookbook, Bite Me, has reached New York Times best-selling list. He serves as top chef at the famous 5-star restaurant, Hard Rock Cafe, Mr. James Casanova Valentino Blunt.
There he is. It's him, all right. Sure enough. Just look at him. Mr. High and Mighty. My sister's a ballerina. Yes, sir.
Mr. Casanova, is there anything you'd like to say before we get started?
Let's get this over with. I'm a very important man with very important things to be doing.
Okay, then, Mr. Casanova, if you will.
I know someone forgot to outdate it, didn't they? What do you call this dish?
Turnabout surprise.
Yeah, the surprise that turns your dish green and melts your silverware.
What?
Yeah, that's obvious. Do I have any pet lovers in the house? Be sure to take this dog food home with you. Now I know those kitchen roaches you're gonna commit suicide. Would you please call the police?
Police, why?
That woman just murdered my taste buds. Ugh, wretched, appalling. This is atrociously horrendous.
Did you hear that? He likes it.
Mr. Casanova, what's so funny?
That dish is a joke.
Well, distinguished and somewhat beastly judge, it is now time to award one of these dishes with a coveted, slightly faded blue ribbon that I left on the dash of my car for 2 weeks. Oh, as you make your decision, I will narrate your every move, as I do with golf tournaments. Mr. Casanova ponders as he looks back at the table full of dishes. He pulls the coveted, slightly faded blue ribbon high in the air. He throws the ribbon on the ground. He stomps on it. He stomps on it again and again. He must really hate that ribbon.
I don't need the ribbon, you moron. It's these dishes I hate. It's the worst things I've tasted in my life.
Oh, well, Mr. Casanova becomes so angry, his face turns a strange shade of blue. He pulls out his shirt collar, swaying back and forth as though he were dizzy. He falls to his knees, putting up one hand as though he were begging for help. He gags, his eyes go to the back of his head. He falls to the floor with a big old butt. I'll wait patiently for the judge's decision.
I'm afraid you'll never hear the judge's decision, my good man.
Who are you?
I'm Detective Rufus Ned Biddle. Rufus because I was named after my father's father, and Ned because I was unfortunately named after my mother's mother, Biddle because that's my last name, and Detective because that's what I do. I'm afraid Mr. James Casanova Valentino Bond has been murdered!
Murder?
Murder? Murder? Murder? What did he say about Master?
But how? Why? There's so many unanswered questions.
Since Mr. Casanova died after tasting 7 different dishes, the only logical answer is that he has been poisoned!
But how can we be sure? Detective Biddle?
I have my ways, I have my ways. Which brings to why would somebody want to murder this fine, upstanding man?
It could be because he was a grimy blackmailer,
A filthy thief?
a despicable cheat,
A continual liar.
a malicious and maniacal murderer, a man who loved to humidify people. She means humiliate. Just keep on going. An underhanded scoundrel.
Well, it seems this gentleman wasn't so popular now, was he?
This is terrible. I want to pass out after help.
I'm afraid nobody can leave, ma'am.
You can't hold us here.
I'm afraid I can.
How dare you speak to us in such a fashion? This is a disgraceful farce.
I concur.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
I'm Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff.
Can we please get back to the matter at hand?
These 7 people are not allowed to leave the premises because these 7 people are under suspicion of the murder of Mr. James Casanova Valentino Bond. Now, I witnessed the entire dish-tasting activity. There, I witnessed an interesting thing. Mr. Casanova wore a strange look on his face after tasting each dish.
Strange look? What do you mean?
Let us go back in our memories to the point in time where Mr. Casanova actually tasted each dish. Though you remember it, we will actually allow you to see it in high-speed Ultra HD. Roll it! So you see, there's something quite not right about each taste of the dish.
You know, perhaps they're just bad tasting dishes. No
Possibly 1 or 2, but I cannot make myself believe that all the finest cooks in Remington could coincidentally concoct a bad tasting dish.
But what are the reasons that they're doing for making such awful faces?
That's exactly what I'm here to figure out.
One day in class, Duncan went to take out his crayons and found a stack of letters with his name on them.
Hey, Duncan, it's me, your red crayon. We need to talk. You make me work harder than any of your other crayons. I wear myself out all the time, drawing your fire engines and your apples and your strawberries and everything else that's red. I even work hard on holidays. You make me draw all your Santas and all of the hearts on Valentine's Day. I need a rest. Your overworked friend, Red Crayon.
Dear Duncan. All right, listen, I love that I'm your favorite crayon for grapes, dragons, and wizard hats. But it makes me crazy that so much of my gorgeous color is being wasted outside the lines. If you don't start coloring inside the lines, I'm going to lose it. Your very neat crayon, purple crayon.
Dear Duncan, I'm tired of being called light brown or dark tan because I'm neither. I am beige and I'm proud. I'm also tired of coming second to Mr. Brown Crayon, who gets all the bears and the ponies and the puppies, and all I get are turkey dinners, if I'm lucky, and wheat. And tell me, Duncan, when was the last time you saw a kid excited about
Duncan, you color with me? But why? Most of the time, I'm the same color as the page you're using me on. White. If I didn't have a black outline, you wouldn't even know I was there. Now, I'm not even in the rainbow. I'm only used to color snow or fill in the space between other things. It leaves me feeling, well, empty. We need to talk. Your empty friend, White Crayon.
Hi, Duncan. I hate being used to color the outline of things that are colored in by other crayons, all of which somehow think that they are brighter than me. It's not fair when you use me to draw a nice beach ball and then fill in the color of the ball with all the other crayons. But why not a black beach ball for a change? Is that too much to ask, Duncan? Your friend, Black Crayon.
Dear Duncan, as Green Crayon, I am writing for 2 reasons. One is to say that I like my workloads of crocodiles, trees, dinosaurs, and frogs. I have no problems and wish to congratulate you on a very successful coloring things green career. The second reason I write is for my friends Orange and Yellow Crayon, who are no longer speaking to each other. Both crayons feel they should be the color of the sun. Please settle this soon, because they are driving the rest of us crazy! Your happy friend, Green Crayon.
Dear Duncan, Yellow Crown here. I need you to tell Orange Crown that I am the color of the sun. I would tell him, but we are no longer speaking. And I can prove that I am the color of the sun. Last Tuesday, you used me to color the sun in your Happy Farms coloring book. In case you've forgotten, it's on page 7. You can't miss me. I'm shining down on a field of yellow corn. Your pal and the true color of the sun, Yellow Crayon.
Dear Duncan, I see Yellow Crayon has already talked to you. The big whiner. Anyways, could you please tell Mr. Tattletale that he is not the color of the sun? I would, but we're no longer speaking. We both know I am the real color of the sun because on Thursday you used me to color in your Monkey Island and the Day of Meet the Zookeeper pages in your Day at the Zoo coloring book. Aren't you glad I'm here? Your pal and the real color of the sun, Orange Crayon. Dear Duncan, it's been great being your favorite color for the past year, and the year before, and the year before that. I've really enjoyed all those oceans, lakes, rivers, raindrops, rain clouds, and clear blue skies. But the problem is that I'm so short and stubby, I can barely see over the crayon box. I need a break. Your very stubby friend, Blue Crayon. Okay, listen here, kid. You have not used me once in the past year. It's because you think I'm a girl's color, isn't it? Speaking of which, please tell your little sister I said thank you for using me to color in her pretty princess coloring book. I think she did a fabulous job of staying inside the lines. Now back to us. Could you please use me sometime to color an occasional pink dinosaur or monster, cowboy? We both know they could use a splash of color. Your unused friend, Pink Crown. Hey Duncan, it's me, your friend, Peach Crayon. Why did you peel off all of my paper wrapping? Now I'm naked, I'm too embarrassed to leave the crayon box. I don't even have any underwear. How would you like to go to school naked? I need some clothes soon. Help! Your friend, Peach Crayon.
Well, poor Duncan just wanted to color.
And of course he wanted his crayons to be happy. And that gave him an idea.
When Duncan showed his teacher his new picture, she gave him a good work sticker for coloring.
and a gold star for creativity.
And
that was the day the crayons quit.
Good evening. I'm Drew. Did you know that L-grades can be considered one of the most important inventions in human history? They may be awesome, but no one enjoys the awkwardness that comes with it. Where do you look? How long do you stare past numbers? All questions to ponder as our story begins on normal work day.
An unidentified virus strain is rapidly spreading across the state of Pennsylvania. The first reports of the virus are believed to have been in State College. The virus has since spread throughout the state of Pennsylvania. It is believed that it will spread to adjacent states within the next 12 hours. Symptoms of this virus include initial nausea and vomiting, blurred vision, loss of muscle control, and unconsciousness. State College is also reporting that some of the affected persons are turning into zombie-like creatures.
or not you've seen the hit movie Lord of the Rings, you've almost certainly heard the line, "One does not simply walk through Mordor." And while Boromir may have been wrong about several things, he was right about that. Mordor is no stroll to the Shire. It's a perilous journey, danger at every step. And one could almost say that traversing the fiery, unforgiving landscape is almost as bad as trying to solve New York City's rat problem. Which leads me to today's question, can New York City solve its rat problem? As Mayor Eric Adams put it, "If you know anything about me, I hate rats." New York City's rat problem is pretty bad. So first, we're going to be looking at the rat problem itself. Why has it been such a big issue recently? And what is going on exactly that requires so much attention? And then second, we're going to be looking at the unique new position of a so-called rat czar that just might be New York City's savior. So first, in this corner, the rats. They need no introduction. New York rats are a menace. Estimated population of nearly 2 million, the humans outlive the rats for now, but that may not be the case soon. As Insider Magazine noted, that the rat population in New York City has increased by over 800% in just the last 65 years alone. Compare that with the human population, which has only increased by a little less than 119%, and you can definitely see the problem. We don't want the rats outpacing the humans anytime soon. And as NPR wrote in April, this new spike in rats in the last 2 years largely coincides with the reopening of restaurants after the pandemic lockdowns. New York's rat problem is currently urgent and pressing. If New York doesn't act soon, the rats could get out of control and may forever be out of reach of climate containment. But who could be a champion of the hero that could arise from the darkness and finally fight back the rats? Who could possibly have what it takes to overcome such an overwhelming foe? And they can't use previously known strategies. As the biologist notes in the NPR article, Kaylee Byers says that the previous 100-year-old strategy of catch, kill, repeat simply hasn't worked. New York needs something new, and that might just be what they're going to get. In this corner, it's the head of a new multi-million-dollar campaign to finally fight back the rats. And I'm not making this title up, it is the new entitled Rat Czar. While it does sound fake, AP News writes that the position calls for somebody who's, quote, slightly bloodthirsty, end quotes, and has a, quote, general horror of awesomeness, end quotes, and, of course, has the necessary killer instincts. And before you ask, those are all quotes directly taken from the job listing itself. But who could possibly live up to such a great role? Who could be such a champion of the people to finally save them from such a menace? Well, it might just be one Kathleen Coriati. The previous elementary school teacher has much of her name. As NPR wrote in April, Kathleen Coriati has already been the head of several different rat campaigns, and that have been largely successful. Her leadership skills landed her in the position, and she seems cut fit for it. As Eric Adams notes, the rats are going to hate Kathy. Kathleen Coriati herself expressed that rats are a symptom of a systematic issue inside of New York City itself, and need to be addressed as such. Her unique approach will have, as USA Today wrote in April, 2 private property inspections annually in Harlem, and in the same district, public properties and city locations will be inspected monthly. This is a pretty big uptick in rat inspections, and that type of targeted assessment will definitely help New York in making sure to solve the systematic issue that causes the rats to rise in the first place. So, does Kathleen Coriati have what it takes? I think so. Her previous chops and previous experience as both having the insane skill to put up being an elementary school teacher, but also being able to put up with the rats, will definitely be what the city needs. Her unique, innovative approach of tackling the systemic problems that cause the rats is exactly what biologist Kaylee Byers wants. And it might just be the rat's last match. So yes, New York City can solve its rat problem. While Mordor may be a perilous journey, with our newly crowned rat czar, Kathleen Coriati, the journey could not be in more capable hands. Thank you.
Our scene begins in Memphis, Egypt, a city on the Nile River, home to the first pharaohs of the Old Kingdom. The greatest pharaoh of Memphis was the second Uzi's son, Kamuz, was the high priest of the temple of Ptah. Ptah was the god of crafts. He was the power behind all creation. He created all the other gods.
I am Shu, the god of air. I support the sky above the earth and below the heavens. I'm Skemet, lion goddess of war. I am Ba, god of the moon and of the earth. Ta-da!
I am Hathor, goddess of the sky, joy, and dancing.
I am Jeb, god of the earth. I built the foundation upon which the world rests.
I am Isis, wife of mighty Osiris, the god who taught humanity the secrets of farming and civilizations. She was also known as the Egyptian goddess of love, healing, fertility, magic, and the moon. She was the most worshipped goddess in all Egyptian culture.
And I am Ra, god of the sun and supreme deity of all Egypt.
Once upon a time, the god Osiris died in a mysterious circumstance.
You mean murder?
Osiris, the first pharaoh of Egypt, then became lord of the underworld and rules the kingdom of the dead.
And like most stories, there was drama with the capital. Well, Ra called the council of the gods together, but everyone wanted to take the empty throne of Osiris. Evil men, especially this guy.
Oh, me?
Yes, you.
Well, it's not my fault. I should be next in line instead of
Me? Were you gonna say me, Horus? But I'm the son of Osiris.
I am the brother of Osiris. Don't should have been mine to begin with.
Seth, brother of Osiris, god of the desert, thunderstorms, earthquakes, eclipses, and foreign lands. Seth was a powerful and often frightening deity. However, he was a patient god of the pharaohs, protecting Ramses III.
You bring nothing but chaos and violence in this world.
Do not listen to this demented punk. I propose battle to death.
Seth, you are the murderer. The universe knows you killed Osiris.
That is a lie.
Council, who shall the throne? Horus or Seth?
Horus is still a boy.
I say we let them fight.
I disagree.
Let them raise chariots around the sun.
Or music on a harp. Whoever breaks the most strings is the loser.
My husband was murdered. Are you seriously confident letting this killer take the throne?
Be careful how you speak to your fellow divinity.
Where are my fellow divinities when Osiris lay bleeding from last off his life?
Anger drips from his mouth as venom spews from a serpent. Isis should be banned.
Agreed.
But Isis told the truth. The council reconvened without Isis, but she had a plan of her own. She turned herself into an old woman and approached the god Nemti. Nemti became considered simply as the god of ferrymen and was usually depicted as a falcon standing on a boat, a god of travelers, so to speak.
Oh, I am so weary.
What do you want, old woman?
Will you ferry me to the island?
Ha! I will do no such thing. The council of gods is ordering to ferry no one to the island, especially not an old hag.
But I'll give you some bread.
Bread? Ha!
This gold rate. I'll give it to you to ferry me to the island.
Get in the boat. God, get in the boat, come on.
Legend has it that Nemti lost all his children across the land. But when Isis reached the island, she changed back into a younger self, but this time disguised as a young maiden.
What is your trouble, young maiden?
Oh, nothing that would interest you. Such a powerful god, you.
Yes, I am a very powerful god, but I am truly concerned. What worries you?
My husband was the widow of a cow herder.
An honorable foreign profession.
And when he died, his cow should have been passed on to our only son.
That is the law.
But instead, a brutal stranger stole the cattle and now will control my husband's estate.
What an outrage! It is wicked for a son to be robbed of his inheritance.
As soon as Seth spoke those words, Isis changed, this time into a sparrowhawk, and flew into the hall to address the council. Seth is condemned to die because of his own mouth.
I was tricked!
You tricked Osiris. I guess it's be done.
Council, how do you vote?
We cannot let evil rule this earth. Seth might plot to kill us.
Humanity deserves a better ruler.
I vote sports.
And what do I, Seth, receive?
She'll be banished from this earth. She'll be thunder in heaven and terrify mankind with your rage.
The main idea is that stories like this were myths, a moral myth, mind you, between the powers of good and evil.
This is the title of this story, which is also found several times in the story itself. A story by David Moser.
This is the first sentence of this story.
This is the second sentence.
This is the title of this story, which is also found several times in the story itself.
This sentence is questioning the intrinsic value of the first two sentences.
This sentence is to inform you, in case you haven't already realized it, that this is a self-referential story. That is, a story containing sentences that refer to their own structure and function.
This sentence is introducing you to the protagonist of our story, a young boy named Billy.
This sentence is telling you that Billy is blonde and blue-eyed and American. He's 12 years old, and he's strangling his mother.
This sentence comments on the awkward nature of the self-referential narrative form.
As if illustrating the point made by the last sentence, this sentence reminds us, and with no trace of facetiousness, that children are a precious gift from God, and that the world is a better place when graced by the unique joys and delights which they bring to it.
This sentence describes Billy's mother's bulging eyes and protruding tongue, and makes reference to the unpleasant choking and gagging noises she's making.
This sentence makes the observation that these are uncertain and difficult times, and that relationships, even seemingly deep-rooted and permanent ones, do break down.
Introduces in this paragraph the device of sentence fragments.
A sentence fragment.
Another. This is actually the last sentence of the story, but has been placed here by mistake.
This is the title of this story, which is also found several times in the story itself.
As Gregor Samso woke one morning from uneasy dreams, he found himself in his bed transformed into a gigantic insect.
This sentence informs you that the preceding sentence is from another story entirely and has no place at all in this particular narrative.
Despite claims of the preceding sentence, this sentence feels compelled to inform you that this story is in actuality the Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka, and that the sentence referred to by the preceding sentence is the only sentence which does indeed belong in this story.
This sentence overrides the preceding sentence by informing you that this piece of literature is actually the Declaration of Independence. But that the author, in a show of extreme negligence, has so far failed to include even one single sentence from that stirring document. Although he has condescended to use a small sentence fragment, namely, when in the course of human events, near the end of a sentence.
Showing keen awareness of the downright hostility of the average person with regard to the pointless conceptual games indulged in by the preceding sentences, this sentence at last returns us to the scenario of the story by asking the question, why is Billy strangling his mother?
This sentence attempts to shed some light on the question posed by the preceding sentence, but fails.
This is the title of this story, which is also found several times in the story itself.
This sentence raises a serious objection to the entire class of self-referential sentences that merely comment on their own function or placement within the story, on the grounds that they are monotonously predictable, unforgivingly self-indulgent, and merely serve to distract you from the real subject of the story, which, at this point, seems to concern strangulation.
The purpose of this sentence is to point out that the preceding sentence, while not itself a member of the class of self-referential sentences it objects to, nevertheless also serves merely to distract you from the real subject of the story, which actually concerns Gregor Samsa's inexplicable transformation into a gigantic insect.
This is the title of this story, which is also found several times in the story
This is
itself.
almost the title of this story, which is only found once in the story itself.
This sentence regretfully states that up to this point, the self-referential mode of narrative has had a paralyzing effect on the story itself. That is, these sentences have been so concerned with analyzing themselves and their role in the story that they have failed, by and large, to perform their function as communicators of events and ideas. In short, the very raison d'etre of any respectable, hard-working sentence in the midst of a piece of compelling prose fiction.
This sentence, in addition, points out the obvious analogy between the plight of these agonizingly self-aware sentences and And it points out the analogous paralyzing effects wrought by excessive self-examination.
The purpose of this sentence is to speculate that if the Declaration of Independence had been worded and structured as lackadaisically and incoherently as this story had been so far, there's no telling what kind of warmly routine society we'd be living in now, even to the point of deranged and debased writers constructing irritatingly cumbersome sentences that sometimes possess the questionable quality of referring to themselves. And they sometimes become run-on sentences that almost certainly would have insidious effects on the morals of our impressionable youth, leading them to commit murder, and maybe that's why Billy is strangling his mother. It's because of sentences just like this one? Bizarre.
A sentence fragment.
12 years old.
This is a sentence that's
Fragmented.
And strangling his mother.
Sorry.
The purpose of this sentence is three. 1. To apologize for the unfortunate lapse exhibited by the preceding paragraph. 2. To assure you that this won't happen again. And 3. To reiterate that these are uncertain and difficult times, and that aspects of language, even seemingly stable and deep-rooted ones such as syntax and meaning, do break down.
This sentence, in a last-ditch attempt to infuse some iota of storyline into this paralyzed prose piece, quickly leads to Billy's frantic cover-up attempts, followed by a touching and beautifully written passage wherein Billy is reconciled with his father, and a final, exciting police chase scene during which Billy is actually shot and killed by a bad policeman who is coincidentally named Billy.
This sentence, although basically in complete sympathy with the laudable efforts of the preceding sentence, reminds you that such allusions to a story that does not yet in fact exist are no substitute for the real thing.
This sentence is bursting at the punctuation marks with news of dire import of self-reference as applied to sentences. If a sentence can refer or allude to itself, why not a lowly subordinate clause, perhaps necessary clause, or this sentence fragment, or 3 words, 2 words, 1.
Well, perhaps it is appropriate that this sentence reminds us that these are indeed difficult and uncertain times. And that in general, people just aren't nice enough to each other. And perhaps we, whether sentient human beings or sentient sentences, should just try harder.
We should stand our ground, take Mother Nature by the throat, and just try harder.
By the throat!
This is the title of the story, which is also found several times in the story itself.
This is the last sentence of our story.
This is the last sentence of the story.
This is?
Sorry.
Please tell me. No. Please, because I'll never. Don't ask. I'll never tell. No. No matter what. It's not. I die before I told. It's not you telling me, even if you didn't. Then tell me. It's too terrible, I can't. Yes, but if you don't tell me, then there's this secret between us. Stop it. If there's this secret between us, we're not. Please. We're not close anymore. We can't ever. Nobody knows everything about. But a big secret like this. It's not such a big. Then tell me. No. It's big because you won't tell me. No, I won't. Is it something you don't start guessing? Or something you want to? No. Is it something you've seen or heard or know or please? Is it something you've done? Is it a crime or a sin or just no? I just don't want you knowing. All right. All right, I'll tell you. You don't have to. I'll tell you. Yes, tell me because I'll never. It's not. Tell me because I always. All right, I'm telling you. No. Yes. No. I warned you. But that's. Yes. No, that's. Yes. How could you?
Dad, but I don't want to come. Dad, up here! Funny, he doesn't hear me at all. Now I can hear him as plain as anything. I can hear all of them down there gathered around my body. Dad, Dr. Carson and the nurses. Have you ever wondered what happens after we die? Well, this is what you see through the eyes of our main character, questioning to move on or to stay with his father. Out of body choice, I beg for her. I can look down at all of them, as if I was looking at a movie. But even if they should look up, which doesn't seem likely, I know they wouldn't see me. They think I'm down there with my legs broken and my skull fractured. I don't feel any pain. I haven't ever since I left my body. I could feel myself float up ever so gently, up off the hospital bed towards me. Above me, still a little farther up, there's a bright light, brighter than a dozen searchlights. And it's where I want to go. There are people in the light. I can make out their faces, but I sense they are kind people, loving people, and they want me to join them. But I'm held here, in a limbo, just below the ceiling. I know what holds me. It's Dad. The look on his face is terrible, the look of grief. I've seen it only once before, the day Mom died. I wonder if Mom looked down at us that day and saw our faces. How could I do this to him? How could I allow myself to float out into the happy light knowing how it would crumble? I just wish there was a way to tell him about the people, the bright light, and the vibrations of love and peace. Maybe he wouldn't have that look on his face. Maybe then he could smile. Dad, I love you, Dad! But it will be better where I'm going. I'll be happy and... Oh God! Oh God! My God is calling for me! He's crying my name! I want to come to you, kind people. Someday I will. Right now. But right now I'm still needed down below. I hear you, Dad. I hear you, and I'm coming. I think. And now we have a prose piece by McCollough.
Johnny Cake realizes there's still things he needs to say to his best friend Pony Boy before it's too late. This piece is from the novel The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. Pony Boy, I asked the nurse to get you this book so you could finish it. The doctor came in a while ago, but I already knew. I keep getting tireder and tireder. Listen, I don't mind dying now. It's worth it. It's worth saving those little kids. Their lives are worth more than mine. They have so much more to live for. Some of their parents came by to thank me, and I know it's worth it. Tell Dally that it's worth it. I'm just gonna miss you guys. I've been thinking in that poem, that guy that wrote it, he meant you're gold when you're a kid, like green. When you're a kid, everything's new. Dawn. It's just when you get used to everything that it's day. When you get used, like the way you dig sunsets, Pony, that's gold. Keep that way. It's a good way to be. I want you to tell Dally to look at a sunset. He'll probably think you're crazy, but ask him. I don't think he's ever really seen one. And don't be so bugged over being a greaser. You still have a ton of time to make yourself what you want. There's still good in the world. Tell Dally. I don't think he knows. Your buddy, Homeboy.
Hey, Marty! Did you like that skit at the beginning?
I sure did. You know, the one about the talent show with no talent?
Yeah, that's the one. You should go see Talent-Tastic on May 19th.
But wait, what time?
6 p.m. at Irving Middle School. You should go watch us perform Talent-Tastic.
Met by moonlight, proud Titania.
What jealous Oberon? Very skip hence, I have forsworn his bed and company.
Tarry, rash wanton, am I not thy lord?
Then I must be thy lady. What art thou here?
I do but beg a little changeling boy to be my henchman.
Set your heart at rest. The fairyland buys not the child of it. His mother was virtuous in my order that she, being mortal, and that boy would die. And for her sake do I rear up her boy, and for her sake I will not fight.
How long within this wood intend you stay?
Perhaps till after Theseus' wedding day. If you will patiently dance in our rounds and see our moonlight revels over. If not, shun me, and I will spare your arms.
Give me that boy, and I will go with you.
Not for thy fairy kingdom.
Well, go thy way. Thou shalt not from this grove till I've tormented thee for this injury. I remember since once I sat upon a promontory, heard a mermaid on a dolphin's back uttering such dulcet and harmonious breath that the rude sea grew civil at her song, and certain stars shot madly from their spheres to hear the sea maid's music. That very time I saw, flying between the cold moon and the earth, Cupid all armed. A certain aim he took, a fair vassal throned by the west, and he loosed his love shaft smartly from his bow, as if it should pierce 100,000 hearts. Yet marked I when bolt of Cupid fell. It fell upon a little western flower, before milk white, now purple with love's wound, and maidens call it love and idleness. The juice of this flower on sleeping eyelids lay will make or man or woman madly dote upon the next live creature that it sees. Having once this juice, I watched Tanya while she is asleep, and drop the liquor of it in her eyes, that she waken the next thing she lays eyes upon, be it on lion, or bear, or wolf, or bull, or meddling monkey, or busy ape, she shall pursue it with the soul of love.
Thisbe, the flowers of Odious, savours sweet, so hath thy breath, my dearest Thisbe dear. But hark, a voice, stay thou but here a while, and by to thee I will appear.
What hempen homespun have we swaggering here? A play toward? I'll be an auditor, an actor too, if I see cause.
If I were fair, Thisbe, I were only thine.
I'll follow you and lead you away. Through bog, through briar, through brake, through branch. I know the wild time blows. There sleeps Titania sometime of the night, clothed in these flowers with dances and delight, and with the juice of this I'll streak her eyes. What thou seest when thou dost wake, do it for thine true love. Love and languish for his sake, in thine eye which shall appear when thou wakest, it is thy dear. Waken, some vile thing is near.
Why is everyone running away? This is the knavery of them to make me afeard. I see their knavery. This is to make an ass of me, to fright me if they could. But I will not stir from this place. I will move up and down from here, and I will sing, so that I will show them I am not afraid. Take on me, take on me. Oh, what angel wakes me from my flowery bed? I'll be gone in a day or two. I pray that again. Mine ear is not commanded of thy nose, so is mine eye enthralled that I shake. When thy fair virtues forth before doth move me upon this view to say, swear I love thee. Methinks, mistress, you should have little reason for that. Yet,
Love and reason do keep little company together nowadays. It is not for some honest neighbors to make them good friends, nay. I can blink upon occasion.
Thou art as wise as thou art beautiful.
Not so neither. But if I had wit enough to get out of this wood, I'd have enough to serve mine.
Out of this wood do not desire to go. Thou shalt remain here, whether thou wilt or no. I am a spirit of no common rate, and summer still doth tend upon my soul. And I do love thee. Therefore go with me, and I will give thee fairies to attend on thee, and they will fetch thee jewels from the deep and sing while thou as flowers dost sleep, and I purge thy mortal grossness so that thou shalt like an airy spirit go.
Seest thou this sweet sight? For dotage now I do begin to pity, for meeting of her late behind the woods, seeking sweet favors from this hateful fool. I did upbraid her and fall out of her. For she his hairy temples then had rounded with a coronet of fresh and fragrant flowers. When I'd at my pleasure tormented her, she in mild terms begged my patience. I then did ask of her a changeling child, which straight she gave me, and her fairy sent to bear him to my bower and that. And now that I have a boy, I will undo this hateful imperfection of her eyes. Beest as thou wast wont to be, and seest as thou wast wont to see. Dian's bud or Cupid's flower hath such force and blessed power. Now rise to come, awake you, my sweet queen.
My overall, what visions I have seen. Methought I was enamored of an ass.
There lies your love.
Here these things to pass. Oh, how mine eyes do glow in its vintage now.
In silence a while, my queen, in silence sad, trip we after the night's shade. We the glow can compass soon, swifter than the wandering moon.
Come, my lord, and in our flight tell me how it came this night, that I sleeping here was found, with these mortals on the ground.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your favorite radio program, Alcott Starlight Theater, on your favorite radio station, WAMS, the Wildcat Station. Last week, we gave you a sneak peek of this beloved character. Will the selfless girl find happiness? But first, a message from one of our sponsors. Well, Sam has got a deal for you.
Hey, all you youngsters out there, how many of you are looking for a change? Your favorite motorboat hero, while earning $30 a month, maybe more.
Well, jeepers, sir, that sounds too good to be true.
It is true, and that's not all. Get 3 sparrows a day, a sharp-looking uniform, and a chance to see the world. We want you, son. We're looking for a few good men from the United States,
Army, Navy,
and Marine Corps. Visit your nearest USO Center or recruiting office downtown and tell Sergeant Menard the Husband family.
Why, yes, sir, I will do that.
Welcome back to WAMS, and without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, your host for the evening, Babe Ruth.
Hello, welcome to Alcott Starlight Theater. I'm Babe Ruth. For tonight, your favorite childhood characters may bump into each other in strange fashion. Episode tonight is entitled Cinderella's Happiness.
Please, Stella, I would love to go to the King's house. That is an utterly ridiculous thought. Have you finished the mopping, the dishes,
The ironing. Oh, did you make my bed yet?
Well, what? Did you mend my dresses? Oh, did you feed my cat? I can take care of all this when I return, and then some.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, sure, lady. Call me what you want. The name's Red, so let's go.
Oh, where is that? You mean Cinderella? Are you smoking here? What was that?
You're still How can I talk to Cinderella if Cinderella isn't even here? For Pete's sakes.
Yeah.
Pretend you're actors, aren't you?
Oh, am I right? You've already started without me. What kind of radio station is this?
Wait just a darn minute. Who are you?
I do love your shoes. Well, I always dress for success, but I'm ready for Snow White.
Someone get the phone.
Can we please cut and get off the air? We're getting called for someone called Marilyn Monroe to be on a show called Choose Wisely.
That's me.
I beg your pardon. You need to leave this instant. This is our radio show.
I'm calling my angel. This entire thing is just ridiculous, except for maybe Miss Monroe's shoes.
Can we please get on with our...
Stanley, do you know what's going on?
You ain't nothing but
Why, hello. I was looking for the AMX radio feed.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here about this. These people have invaded the studio and taking up my favorite time. But I didn't know you were on my radio station.
It's good to see you too, little lady. But I'm actually here to audition and read the role of Cinderella the princess in the story called Shucks. I can't even find the name of it.
Where are my cast members? Uncle Sam!
The stepmother and her cruel stepdaughters have disappeared into thin air.
Come with us, please get to a commercial.
I'm on it. Hello, we need a commercial crew in here.
That was fast.
Situation is urgent. You got dirt to the left, dirt to the right, dirt above and below. Luckily, you have a secret weapon. It's Mr. Clean. He's me. He hates dirt. He gets rid of grease. He polishes off stains and rubs out grime. Get new, Mr. Clean.
Yes,
Mission complete.
I'm sorry, that commercial's not on my list. Who are you?
Actually, I'm an actor from London, Jack Sprat, just visiting the US of A for a bit.
Oh, I love the British accent.
I don't want it.
I'm so confused. Hello? Oh, yes, he is here. It's for you.
Anyway, tell him not here.
What?
Mom, I've told you. I will call you when I come to buy it. No, no one wants a cow that doesn't produce milk. Yes, Mother. Okay, love you too.
That was the worst unlucky mother I've ever heard. Now say it again, Jack.
Mom, you're embarrassing me.
You both need to get out of here. This is a professional radio program, but you are making it a mockery.
Mr. Radio Man, you need to learn some manners. I'm a lady.
Lady, cat, out. All of you, and I mean...
Mommy! Mother! Mommy!
I'm here, you thing!
I am too. Dong, dong. Oh, where'd everyone go? Oh, I feel rather woozy. I say woozy. Am I dreaming? Somebody touch me.
I'll trade you 5 magazines for it.
So,
The heck you will? Put it right back in your pocket, I say.
What are you trying to do? Awesome. Excellent.
Fake dudes.
Oh, get it. Hello? I have no idea. Really? Some of our listeners would like to order some chocolate mints, peanut butter sandwich cookies. Does he deliver? Well, I'm not quite sure. Do you deliver?
I bought cookies, dum-dum.
Thanks, that's great.
Yes, who is that? Yes, I am the man. Really,
Oh no, they're after us. You? Jim, is that you in there? I saw your Tim Dan out here.
Mammy Bear, I'm not going into this again. I'm selling my golden egg, and that is the end of it. We need to repay that wretched wicked witch.
Shh, don't say its name, Jim.
Go buy, oh, stop. Go buy some mascara, will you?
How dare you? Now come out with your hands up. Come out with the golden egg on, and we can go home.
Hello?
Who's there? Oh, stop your ball.
Who said that?
I did. Now, where are those fools?
Babe Ruth, you know what's going on?
Don't you know? I thought this was all part of the show.
Are you both done whining? I'm looking for the baker and his wife. I can smell the rotten cookie dough from a decade ago. They're desperate to get back to 2042.
2042? What is 2042?
The year, you fool!
Well, whatever 2042 is, it isn't here. Neither does anyone else. It's just us. Now.
What was the baker wearing?
I believe a tan coat and...
He was wearing a tan coat, a nice hood tie, and dark sunglasses, Mother.
Thank you, my beautiful daughter, Rapunzel.
Mother, Jim chose alternative reality. Strange choice. A spiral from Sesame Street?
What is an alternative reality?
Never mind. What's a Muppet?
Did anything else happen?
Everything has happened. Nothing has gone right.
Focus.
Ah!
What year is it?
What?
Mother, we need to go or else we'll never catch them.
Just answer.
Wait, no, it's May 13th, 1943.
Yes, 1943.
1943? You were in a time continuum.
A time what?
Never mind that. What else can you tell me?
We are Miss your star actors, Cinderella, the stepmother, and the 2 stepsisters.
And?
We were visited by a talking, very sleazy-looking wolf, and someone named Red,
And then?
And that's Longfellow who sent you a 3D for Snow White.
A guy named Elvis, here reads for Cinderella's prince.
Uh-huh. And then?
Ready for talk to a British gentleman named Jack.
Jack is here. Make a note of that.
Our station did not hire him or his helicopter mother.
And then?
Then a booming giant voice, yes, and then another earthquake, lots of earthquakes. Then a baker named Jim who was selling a golden hand.
Jim and then Tiny Bay Baker.
Ha! I've got them now. They think they're so smart. They're headed to the 70s next. I'll disguise myself as Janis Joplin.
Well, ladies and gents, if you are still listening to our program, it's just confused as us. Please tune in next time to find out if we ever make it back to our time. We'll find our actors who finish our story.
I'm afraid your answer is you answer is you.
All right. Ernie, yes, I'm okay. You've been watching our show? The big bad wolf is here. Run, Grandma, run!
My name is Sydney Janda from Roman High School.
And I'm Arya Ramney from North.
and we are going to be demonstrating a truncated Lincoln Douglas debate for you all this evening. All right, is my opponent ready? All right, so I will begin reading my case now. I affirm today's resolution resolved ChatGPT ought to be banned. The highest found in today's round is that of societal welfare. The criterion that best upholds it is that of promoting social progress, which is defined by Harvard Business School's capacity of society to establish building blocks that allow citizens and communities to enhance and sustain their quality of lives. Contention 1, ChatGPT cannot play Wordle. Mitchell 2023 writes, artificial intelligence is about to turn the world upside down, but don't ask it to play a game of Wordle. ChatGPT's performance on these puzzles was poor. That's because ChatGPT's immense neural network uses a complicated mathematical function that maps in inputs and outputs. In order for the program to function, these inputs and outputs must be numbers. Impact, ChatGPT not being able to be a useful Wordle solver means that it really has no reason to exist. It does nothing at all to further progress society's ability to play Wordle, and thus does not at all better society. Condition 2, ChatGPT hinders learning. Bangalore 2023 writes, students are likely to take ideas from ChatGPT and rewrite them, which plagiarism checkers would not catch. It's just too easy for students to get by in their class and copy ChatGPT and do it for them. When nearly 90% of students are already enabled to have to use ChatGPT to do class assignments for them, it is abundantly clear this technology will stunt student development. Impact, schools already have to deal with students cheating, and ChatGPT makes it even more of an issue, and thus is linked to less academic vote people. If Albert Einstein had used ChatGPT to get through school, there would be no equal E equals MC squared. Therefore, society will actually backtrack into progression. Condition 3, it leads to internet misinformation, with Group 2023 stating trying to spot a phishing email is far more difficult with AI-generated text. Grammatical errors, which used to be a red flag, aren't there because ChatGPT can't fluently write all kinds of text. The spread of fake information is a serious concern too. The scale at which ChatGPT can produce text, coupled with the ability to make even incorrect information sound convincingly right, amplifies the dangers of deepfake technology. Impact, ChatGPT spread of misinformation and scams and judges separation of fact from fiction, and it's ultimately a threat to our country. I mean, who wants to live in a world in which it's impossible to tell if Joe Biden is actually singing Baby Shark or if a Nigerian prince is actually sending you money? Because of the fact that ChatGPT cannot play Wordle, hinders learning, and can spread misinformation, I urge to affirm. Thank you. I now send open for cross-examination.
Okay, for my first question, should ChatGPT be banned just because it can't play Wordle?
Yes.
Okay. And is scamming necessarily a bad thing? You said that ChatGPT can help with prevalence of scams, that scams will be more common if ChatGPT still exists. Is that a bad thing?
Yes, I would say scams are a bad thing.
Okay, and in every situation, does ChatGPT hinder students' ability to learn? Like, is a student using ChatGPT in school, is that always a bad thing?
So it is whenever you're using it to plagiarize, right? Because I mean, not actually one of the material.
Okay, but let's say that a student uses ChatGPT to maybe like proofread their essay or grade something. Is that a bad thing if they get like tips to study from it?
Right. So it's one of those things where it's far easy to use for bad things, and you know, when you look at, for example, the internet and student uses it to cheat, it's pretty detectable. The reason why ChatGPT is a lot harder to detect, so even any of these positive benefits that students might gain, the negative far outweigh.
Okay, so even though it can have like good effects, you're still banning it just because a student has the potential to use it for bad, correct?
Because over 90% of students have reported using it for bad.
Okay, thank you. To begin my case, my point of view. Okay. I negate the resolution. ChatGPT ought to be banned. It should not. I value innovation as it keeps our world going forward. In order to achieve that innovation, I put the criterion of modern-day solutions to modern-day problems. It's defined as just what it sounds like. My first contention is that ChatGPT saves marriages. Imagine this scenario. Let's say Valentine's Day rolls around, and every year you struggle with writing the perfect love letter to your Valentine. Well, ChatGPT is your new solution. Its conversational tone and adaptation to the user's demands can ensure the letters are personalized and well-written. Furthermore, statistics show that people who've taken help from ChatGPT to write love letters have felt more confident. And the best part of it all is that they will never know. Research 23 found that 72% of Aussie adults couldn't tell whether a love letter was written by ChatGPT or by sheer love. But ChatGPT's heartfelt romance goes far further with the second scenario, cooking your loved one a homemade meal. Are you a bad cook? Do you suck at making fun recipes that match your equally fun personality? Well, ChatGPT can fix that. Give it a starting point by providing certain information on the dish you want to make, such as the ingredients that you have at home, and ChatGPT will then provide you a recipe with step-by-step instructions to make beautiful gourmet dishes. The impact of this extends beyond the kitchen. More than just a romantic gesture, research has linked cooking with happiness, relaxation, greater self-awareness, boosted confidence, and more. The second convention is advancing education. In fact, ChatGPT is the future of education. First, First is its role in helping teachers. The American Psychology Association writes, ChatGPT can be used as a powerful classroom aid that makes lessons more interactive and eases the lives of teachers and students alike. Second is helping students. The NIH writes that ChatGPT can answer questions and assist you with tasks, such as composing emails, essays, and more. In school, it can proofread your essays and give you tips on how to study, something that's been a lifesaver for me on my past testing. Its popularity has only started to grow. In college, 43% of students have used ChatGPT. And also, because of this, ChatGPT is solving one of our nation's biggest problems, stressed out students. School is an incredibly stressful environment, and having ChatGPT to lend you a hand can be a lifesaver. Reducing student stress is incredibly important, since stress leads to bad problems, like heart disease. Researchers say that stressed people have a higher risk of heart problems and even more things, like asthma, diabetes, headaches, and even gastrointestinal problems. In total, ChatGPT helps save marriages around the world and does wonders to benefit the lives of teachers, all while stopping the horrors of stress and gastrointestinal problems too. I stand open for process.
All right, I will begin my first question now. So would you say that in order for heart disease to be cured, you need to have a pretty good doctor?
Okay, what I'm saying right now is that stress is one of the problems.
So it's just a yes or no question?
Yes.
Okay. So do you think you need to have an educated doctor to treat you?
I'm saying if you have a stress-free environment, you're less likely to get heart disease.
So do you want your doctor performing open heart surgery for you if they got through med school using ChatGPT?
No.
Okay. Let me also ask you this. Why should ChatGPT write love letters? Doesn't it mean that the love letters are not very genuine?
It can be sometimes that the feelings are very genuine, but let's say that someone genuinely forgot. And the example of like someone really cares for their partner and they just somehow happen to forget, ChatGPT can help that situation because even though the feelings are genuine, you might not have the time to write a fully written out love letter.
But if you forgot, then doesn't that mean you're not a very good partner?
Potentially.
All right. That's time. Thank you. All right. I will now move on to give a rebuttal speech. Am I feeling ready? Yeah. Okay, great. I will begin now. So starting off with the kind of key arguments here in today's round, first let's look at is this idea that ChatGPT is going to make our relationships easier. That all of a sudden it's going to make us decide that, you know, we really do love our partner, but that's not really the case. I personally would not appreciate it if I had a boyfriend who forgot it was our anniversary and used ChatGPT to write me a love letter that didn't even come from him. In fact, if he's going to forget the anniversary, he's not worth my time. And second of all, we also have to look at is that the amount of misinformation ChatGPT can spread is a really big deal, right? It's not just about the deepfake videos of Joe Biden and his baby shark. It's also the deep misinformation campaigns that make it sound like look like that things are real when they're really not. And third of all, you can take this idea of people being scammed and losing money, right? The phishing emails, taking money from local people is also a significant issue. And fourth and finally, this also looks for the fact that people are going to get dumber and they use ChatGPT, right? If you're using ChatGPT to get through all of your schooling, that means your development is going to be hindered, and therefore we're actually going to have less smart people in the world, and there's no way much heart disease or anything else can be cured. I actually truly learned. Thank you.
Firstly, my opponent makes this argument that scams are a bad thing, that scamming will be increased if ChatGPT exists. However, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Let's take one of my opponent's examples of the Nigerian print scam. You might have heard of it. It's where someone online decides to be a Nigerian prince and then asks people for money. Well, that's not always a bad thing. For example, 63% of the people living in Nigeria right now are under the poverty line. And these Nigerian print scams actually earn the country over $700,000 a year. Think of how many people this money could save. It's not always a bad thing. Next, my opponent says that ChatGPT can be bad for schools. That's also not a bad thing. There's a ton of things that you can use in the world right now that have the potential to be used for bad. However, ChatGPT is one of those, but the good impacts that it has are actually outweighing the bad. For example, I used ChatGPT on my recent AP testing to help me study for tests, to help me get study tips and also to grade my essays, and I did wonderful because of that. Just because ChatGPT has the potential to be used for bad doesn't mean it should be immediately banned, along with a lot of other things. Thank you.
That's the end of our debate.
Quietly now. She mustn't hear. She mustn't know I'm here. Really, Dinah, I ought to have taught you better manners. Imagine playing with Mama's best
too, Kitty. You mustn't giggle when I speak to you. Giggle? Why, cats can't giggle. Cats can't even laugh. How very curious.
Oh, my ears and whiskers. I'll be late. I'll be late.
Oh my, rather with a waistcoat, pocket watch, and gloves?
Too late to explain. Today's the coronation of the new queen of Wonderland, and I'm late. Oh dear, oh dear.
Coronation? Wonderland? Mr. Rabbit, take me with you. Oh dear, she's gone. What do I do now? Oh, this bottle, it most distinctly says drink me on it. Should I try, John? Although I do believe I'm a wee bit afraid. Oh dear, oh my, I seem to be shrinking. What do I do now? Oh, it has instructions. Close your eyes and dream of a wish as you turn round and round. I wish I were in Wonderland, I wish I were a queen. I wish I were in Wonderland, I wish I were a queen. Oh my, look, it's the Red Queen.
Where do you come from and where are you going? Look up, speak nicely, and don't twiddle your fingers.
I seem to have lost my way, Your Majesty.
I don't know what you mean by your way. All the ways about here belong to me. But why do you come out here at all? Curtsy while you're thinking what to say.
I'll try that when I'm home. Next time I'm late for dinner, of course.
It's time for you to answer me now. Open your mouth a little wider and always say, Your Majesty.
I came to see the coronation of the new queen, Your Majesty.
You may call me queen. Oh, look, the wind. Run, faster, faster.
Where are we going?
Don't try to speak. Faster, faster.
Are we nearly there?
We're nearly there. We passed it 10 minutes ago. Faster. There. You may rest now.
Everything is just as it was. Oh, look, it's somebody's shawl.
It must have been blown in by the wind.
Bread and butter. Bread and butter.
Oh, am I dressing the White Queen?
You must be sure you are.
If you'd like to try a journey with me, you can be my pawn.
Oh yes, Your Majesties.
Very well. I shall write the instructions down for you. A pawn, as you know, starts in the second square.
The second square.
And you are there now. A few yards later, you will be in the third square where you will meet the Duchess,
her cook,
and her cat. A few yards later, you will be in the fourth square where you will have a tea party.
the very best square in the world.
Then there's the fifth square that belongs to the mock turtle. The sixth square belongs to the White Queen.
We'll be able to trust in my time.
Then there's the seventh square.
We'll get there in leaps and bounds.
Belongs to Humpty Dumpty, and the eighth square is the end of your journey, where you should be arriving for the crowning of the new queen. And it's all feasting and fun. You're both ready to start your way through Wonderland. Speaking French when you don't know the English word or anything. Turn out your toes when you walk, and always remember who you are. Goodbye.
My, she can learn very fast, can't she?
Are we ready to start? Are we hungry, child?
Well, yes.
Good. I shall soon put me at the Duchess's square.
I'm looking for... Well, you must be the Duchess.
I'm the Duchess, child. More pepper. Achoo! Achoo! Achoo!
Meow. Excuse me, there's too much pepper in that soup.
And the moral of that is more pepper. Achoo! Achoo! Achoo!
Tell me why your cat grins like that.
It's the Cheshire Cat, child. That's why.
I didn't know Cheshire cats grin. Why, I didn't know cats could grin at all.
All of them can, and most of them do.
Well, I've never heard of it, seen of any that do.
You don't know much, and that's a fact. More pepper.
If I were a duchess, I'd never have pepper in my kitchen. Soup tastes fine and bad, and I do believe pepper makes people hot-tempered.
You're thinking about something, child, and that makes you forget to talk. And the moral of that is, if people mind their own business, the world will go around a great deal faster.
Which would do little good because it takes Earth 24 hours to spin on its axis.
Talking of axes, chop off her head.
Oh dear!
Goodbye, child. Cook and I off. We have to go play croquet with the queen. Ahem.
Fine, what a rude Duchess. Now, you see that list of instructions. I need to eat soup. I'm still quite hungry, though.
Well then, are we ready for tea?
Oh, I do adore tea, but is it time for tea yet?
It's always tea time in Wonderland. 6 o'clock. Now, here's the fifth square. The Hatter, the White Rabbit, the Dormouse, and...
No room! No room! There's plenty of room!
Have some cake.
But I don't see any cake. cake.
That's because there isn't any.
Then it was very civil of you to offer it.
It wasn't very civil of you to sit down without being invited.
I'm sorry, I didn't know it was your table. It's late for a great thing more than free.
Your hair needs cutting.
You should learn not to say personal remarks. It's very rude.
Why is a raven like a writing house?
Oh, well, I do believe I can guess that.
Do you mean you think you could find the answer to it?
Exactly so.
Then why don't you just say what you mean?
I do! At least, I mean what I'm saying. It's the same thing, you know?
Not the same thing at all. You might as well just say that I see what I eat is the same thing as I eat what I see.
You might just as well say that I like what I get is the same thing as I get what I like.
You might as well say I sleep when I breathe. It's the same thing as I breathe when I sleep.
It's the same with you. Have you guessed the riddle yet?
No, I give up. What's the answer?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Nor I.
Maybe you should do something better with your time than wasting it asking riddles that have no answers.
If you knew time as well as I did, you wouldn't talk about wasting it. It's a hymn. And besides, we quarreled last March just before he went mad. It was at the great concert given by the Duchess, and I had to sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Bat, How I Wonder What You're At. You know the song, perhaps.
I think I've heard something like it.
It goes on. Up above the world you fly, like a tea tray in the sky.
Twinkle, 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 twinkle.
I had hardly finished the first. I had hardly finished the first verse. I had hardly finished the first verse when the Duchess crawled out, "He's murdering time!" off with his head.
How dreadfully savage!
And ever since then, he won't do a thing I ask. It's always 6 o'clock now.
Is that the reason for so many tea things put out?
Yes, that's it. And we've no time to wash things between ones.
So you keep moving around, I suppose.
Exactly so, as the things get used up.
But when do you come to the beginning again?
Suppose we change the subject. I'm getting tired of this. I hope the young lady tells us a story.
I'm afraid I don't know one.
Then the Dormouse shall. Wake up, Dormouse.
I wasn't asleep. I heard every word you chaps were saying.
Tell us a story.
And be quick about it, or you'll be asleep before it's done.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little sisters. Their names were Elsie, Lacey, and Tilly. They lived at the bottom of a well.
Why did they live at the bottom of a well?
It was a treacle well.
Treacle is very much like molasses. And besides, there's no such...
Shh! If you can't be civil, you better finish the story yourself.
No, please go on. I dare say there may be one.
One indeed. And so the 3 little sisters, they were learning to draw, you know.
What were they learning to draw?
Treacle.
Where were they drawing the treacle from?
You can draw water out of a water well. So I ought to think you can draw treacle out of a treacle well.
But they were in the well.
Of course they were. Well in. And so the 3 little sisters, they drew all manner of things. Everything that begins with them.
Why now?
Why not? Wake up.
They drew a manner of things with them, such as moon, family, mousetraps, and munchness. You know, you say things are much of a muchness, but have you experienced such a thing as a drawing of a muchness?
I don't think...
Then you shouldn't talk!
Really? Well, this is the silliest tea party I've ever been at, and I'm never coming back!
And so the 3 little sisters, twinkle.
Wait, where did everyone go? I guess I'd better check the instructions to make sure I'm in the right place. I beg your pardon?
Don't just stand there, child. State your name and business.
My name is Alex, and I'm looking for, well, you must be the 7th square.
7th square indeed. You mean you can't tell who I am? My name is the shape I am.
His name is the shape he is. Boys and girls, can you tell me who he is? Of course, it's Humpty Dumpty. How dare you act like he is?
It's very brilliant. Very.
I said you look like an egg, sir, and sometimes you're very pretty. Humpty Dumpty sound. Oh, do be careful, Sir Humpty, for you may fall.
Well, let me tell you, if I ever did fall, which there is very little chance of, but if I ever did fall, the king has promised to send...
I know, to send all of his horses and
child, you are wrong. Let's face it. How many days are there in a year? Answer me that.
365.
And how many birthdays do you have?
1.
Right again. And if you take 1 from 365, what have you done?
364.
Still right. So you have 1 day to get birthday presents.
And 364 days to get on-birthday presents.
Yes, child, and a happy birthday to you. There's glory for you.
Is that all?
That's it. Goodbye, child.
Wait, Sir Humpty, the White Queen seems to have gone, and I would still have 1 square to visit to the coronation. Will you please take me with you?
I was waiting for you to ask me. We're off, my dear, to the 8th square.
Your Honor, in that time I was sick, and I thought I saw my husband's son returning. And this girl...
Look at me!
I'm Sir Abigail Williams.
What of Abigail Williams?
I seemed to think he fancied her, and so one night I lost my wits, I think, and I left her out on the high road.
Your husband, did he indeed turn from you?
My husband is a goodly man, sir.
Then he did not turn from you.
He...
Look at me! To your own knowledge, has John Proctor ever committed the crime of lechery? Answer my question, is your husband a lecher?
No, sir.
Remove her, Marshal.
Elizabeth, tell the truth.
She has spoken, remove her.
Elizabeth, he has confessed it.
No, stop! No, oh God!
She only thought to say his name.
This girl has struck me false. She has... Child! What is it, child? What are you? Girls, what are you? Where?
Why do you come, yellow bird?
There's a bird. I see no bird.
My face! My face!
Be quiet. Where's the bird? Be quiet.
You cannot want to tear my face! God made my face! Envy is a deadly sin, Mary. Abby! Oh, Mary, it is a black art to change your shape! No, I cannot stop my mouth! It's God's work I do! Abby, I'm here! Mary, please don't come down! Her blood! She's touching her blood!
They're pretending.
Mary, please don't hurt me! I'm not hurting her!
Why does she see this vision?
She sees nothing! She sees nothing! Abby, you mustn't! Abby, you mustn't! I'm here!
Mary, woman, call back your spirits.
Mr. Danforth!
Mr. Danforth! Call back the devil, have you?
Never!
I'll repeat you.
This morning! Abby, stop it! Abby, stop it! Stop it!
desperate. You've rendered me speechless. Might I call you Phoebe?
What am I doing here? This could be dangerous if I'm discovered. Imagine a scandal, and I couldn't handle a scandal so visible. I'll say invisible statements can be. But what's going on in there? I can hear voices I recognize. Naughty, but is that a woman? And if that's a woman, then what is she doing here? Is it the cousin I wish I could see? If it's a cousin, it might just be business. It's family business, and none of my business. But why is she here in the hell of a bachelor? Of course, who could point out that I'm here as well, but does she not realize the situation puts her reputation severely in question? The mere suggestion would cause a sensation, and I cannot hear which is hell. I want to marry you. I be sworn that I marry you. If I forgive me, why forgive? Who believe that my life is free? After grief, but grief is nothing compared with my heart still in there. In this woman's despairing mood, there's a gentleman's better, isn't she done? Taught her how to fly. This is my eye. This is why the convention. Who is it not? Rather turn the blood. Celebrate me, I'll never say. Why did you send me away?
Phoebe, darling.
All this day I think I'll cry. Whoa! What was that?
What was what?
That sound. Is there somebody here?
Oh, pay no attention. That's my new manservant. He's just finding his way around. I'll be with you in a moment. Wadsworth? Isn't this madness who could foresee how one trick of timing could ruin it all? One in the parlor, one in the pantry, nothing between them but me and a wall. Look at Phoebe, noble and pious, my esteem for her only grows. But when I am with Phoebe, I am on fire, thinking of Cinderella, full of desire, passion, and terror, saying love. But when I'm with Sabella, whom do I admire? None but Phoebe, perfect and lovely, who wouldn't love her, heaven knows. Round and round and round the road. How happy I'd be to be at your disposal, my darling. Of course I accept your proposal. And we bliss.